You're at the stage of your career where I imagine from time to time you bump into some teens or 20 somethings or high school, college students that are curious about
Hmm.
what it is that you do. Maybe they're neighbors or uh, sons and daughters of friends and family members or former coworkers. If someone that was, say, in their junior or senior year of high school or freshman year of college was trying to figure out what they wanted to do with a career, and they've heard about what you've done and your successes and what led you to where you are, they've heard a lot about the data center industry because of Jensen Huang and the how it's been making all mainstream attention, but they don't see themselves being a software developer or engineer. What would you advise or recommend for someone that's curious about these client-facing roles in digital infrastructure?
Well, I think first off, I'd probably thank AWS and Google Cloud and Azure for making those things kind of like household names and recognizable to the general population. And I think while software development is really important and there's a big need for it, I think having a good understanding of what infrastructure looks like for these organizations is equally important. And that's where a lot of our data center professionals can kind of come into play and be experts for certain things that software companies or AI companies or robotics companies or anybody else doing colocation might not have the expertise in. So when you can really hone your skills for a broad set of what data centers can do, I think it's broadly appealing to a lot of younger employees, which is kind of how we target a lot of our incoming folks as well.
Is to look for people that have domain knowledge that would be especially interesting to the kind of clients that you want to land?
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really great strategy. So essentially, what you're training them to do is be a deeply niched specialist and subject matter expert. So they're
Mhm.
building, as they're building their career, they're going to start building their professional brand early on. So they
Yeah.
don't get commoditized, you don't get commoditized, and in a perfect world, they within a couple of years they'll be a legit trusted advisor.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the unique things about MSA that I don't necessarily see in other data centers is we're our own biggest client in our data centers. So the professionals that we're hiring are understanding what needs to happen from a hardware standpoint, from a VMware standpoint, from a software standpoint, um, that can be broadly used across other organizations. So we can provide expertise in so many different facets that other data centers can't.
Because you're drinking your own champagne, eating your own
Absolutely,
dog
yeah.
food, and being your own biggest client. That
Robbing Peter to
probably
pay
allows you.
Paul, sort of thing.
What was that?
Robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Yeah. But yeah, you're pressure testing your infrastructure. So in reality,
Absolutely.
your own IT department can beat up upon the NOC staff, the operations staff, to really get it
Yeah,
fine tuned. And if it can meet your internal standards, it probably holds up well to a lot of the ideal clients that you're looking to get on your deals board
absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
onboarded. So that's great advice for someone that's brand new in their career and exploring options and thinking about, data centers, digital infrastructure, is this a good place to build a career upon?